So let's do a full moon energy check-in. Today is a full moon. If it's not in Aries, it may be in Taurus, right? But I believe it's a super moon. So this is an appropriate time to do a reading. Normally full moons are about releasing. So let's see what comes out. I'm going to use the Moonology Oracle cards, and then we'll just clarify with a regular old tarot deck. All right. So let's give it a shuffle and see what comes out. So the energy with this full moon, it could be what you need to release. It's just basically whatever comes out, right? And as usual, take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, so let's give it a shuffle and then see energy for this full moon. Just have to fly all the way over here. All right, let's see what this is. Ooh, all right. It's kind of like similar to the message that we received Monday when I did Monday's reading, because here you have step out of your comfort zone, North Node, but it came out in the reverse. So it's letting me know again that some of you aren't stepping out of your comfort zone. And that was a very strong message that we received earlier. And some of you may be resisting change or resisting what's calling to you, in terms of like your destiny, right? You may feel like there's something calling to you. There's something that you're destined to move towards, but you may be afraid to do what you need to do to get there, because some of you may be losing faith. But Spirit wants you to believe in the impossible, because look at that. It says blue moon, right? And with blue moons, people say, oh, it happens in a blue moon. So it's something that may not happen often, but Spirit's saying, this is something that's coming your way. You also receive a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. And so Virgo sometimes can be, especially when it's not like in a dignified manner, in terms of like shadow side of Virgo, it can be something where you're feeling very negative. You might be a little bit critical, right? Maybe being a little hard on yourself. We got that message too in the previous reading, because it can tend to be perfectionists, when something is not working or they don't see how something makes sense or how something is going to work out from beginning to end, you may be less likely to want to go to it, right? To pursue it. And so I'm finding that with this full moon, so this is probably like a release energy, these are some of the things that you need to release. I'm hearing negativity and pessimism, right? Okay, let's give it a shuffle and then see what else we'll get, and then we'll clarify. Because see, it says the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini, right? So what Spirit is saying is, if you're kind of like in a situation and you're not seeing like how this is going to be possible, how is this going to shift? How am I going to work this out? How is this going to change, right? I feel like I'm just kind of in a dead end and I need to just kind of stay where I am. Spirit is saying is, don't give up, right? Kind of release that mindset. I hear that negative mindset, and know that the answers you need are coming. But you have to trust yourself. And I'm getting that these answers aren't necessarily going to come outside of you, but from within yourself, right? So you're going to have to quiet yourself, take some time, listen, meditate. But the answers you need are already there. But also for some of you who feel like things aren't shifting and you're kind of stuck and stagnant, just know that the energy is gaining momentum, right? And that new things are going to be coming in to replace what you're releasing, if you're fearful in terms of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And then also to know too that you and your loved ones are safe. So whatever it is that you're trying to pursue and you're having second thoughts and your nerves are probably getting the better of you, your fears getting the better of you, know that you're being guided and protected. So anywho, let's go ahead and clarify. So let's clarify this one, which was step out of your comfort zone, North Node. But remember, it came out in the reverse. So tell me about step out of your comfort zone. So here you go, Ace of Swords. And that's kind of mirrors that card where it says the answers you need are coming. Because Ace of Swords is clarity, right? It's very definitive. It's success. It's victory. It's no more confusion. And so what I'm getting from this is confirmation, where Spirit is saying is whatever it is you're thinking of pursuing that you're kind of fearing and that requires you to take a leap of faith, Spirit is saying go for it, because you're going to have success, right? So this is the time to do it. Look, you got the Emperor card, right? Emperor is about taking control. This is Aries energy. If this full moon is in Aries, this is the time, right? This is action, this is somebody who takes charge. This is authority. And so here you have the Six of Wands, right? Which is also success. So that's what I'm getting. For those of you who are kind of hemming and eyeing and feeling nervous and not sure if something's going to work, go for it. Let's see. A time to give. I was almost said a time to take. Maybe there's some people in your life that's what they're doing. They're taking. A time to give rather than take. Oh, and you know what? We had another card here too. Yes. So this just kind of confirms that, not kind of, but it does, that you're going to have success. You have Some of you are going to be getting a message too. You're going to be getting a text message. It's going to make you very, very happy. Because here we have the Three of Cups. It's all about celebration. You know, it's engagements, it's social gatherings, it's friendships, right? It's feeling in harmony with those that you're around. And so Spirit is saying is that whatever it is that you're considering, that you're fearing and thinking it's not going to work, it's actually going to bring the opposite. It's going to bring you a lot of joy and a lot of love, right? Remember, we're talking about taking care of yourself, being less critical. That's what the Queen of Cups does. The Queen of Cups is all about compassion. She's about nurturing, right? She's grounded. She's in touch with her emotions. And so Spirit is saying too, and we also got this message on Monday, right? That if some of you are in a situation where you know there are others around you who are going through something, you know, it's very tough for them, it's okay for you to play this role of nurturing. Don't feel like you're going to be taken advantage of, right? It's okay for you to give to somebody else, you know, even if they can't give you anything in return, because that's the true beauty of giving, where it's, you know, you give for the sake of giving and not because you need to get something back, right? Non-transactional giving. You'll get a lot of joy from that. So that's another message I'm getting. There are those around you who are struggling, right? And some may even be suffering, and you're in a position to help, you know, even if it's just emotional support. Spirit is saying it is okay for you to do that, right? And then also too, if you're in a situation where you're struggling, you know, self-care, right? That's going to be very important, taking that time for yourself. Now let's clarify. The answers you need are coming, and then here you go, Knight of Cups, right? So this could be in terms of maybe somebody wanting to make an offer when it comes to love. You know, it could be in terms of pursuing something that you do love. But if you're kind of confused in a situation, right, in terms of making an offer, right, taking an offer, going towards something that you love, but, you know, it might not be what others are going to agree with, Spirit is saying, there we go again. You're going to get a message. There's a message. Some of you are going to get a love message. Some of you are going to get some kind of offer. Just know that the answers you need are coming, right? Full moon in Gemini. I don't know if we have a full moon in Gemini coming up, but you can look that up. That'll be an extra message for you. And then finally, we have the energy is gaining momentum, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, so the devil. Ooh, never like the devil card. But you know what I'm getting in this case is for some of you, because we have the devil, and then we also have it paired with the Seven of Pentacles. So what I get with these combinations is a lot of waiting. Like something may have been very stagnant where it almost came to a halt, right? Or again, if some of you have been in a situation where you've been feeling stagnant, you've just been feeling afraid to make a move, right? You've been analyzing, overanalyzing, overthinking, because the devil can be that, you know, in terms of obsessively thinking about something. Spirit wants you to know that there is something that's going to happen that's just going to cause the situation to shift. So if you're sitting there and you're not taking action or making a move, I'm surprised the Tower card didn't come out. Spirit is saying that there's something that's going to happen that's going to cause things to shift so that you can kind of get off your hiney and make that move, right? Let's see if we get one more to wrap it up. Here we go, Queen of Pentacles. But just know that it's going to be something where you're going to feel very grounded. You're going to feel very supported. You're going to be financially stable, right? And also to just feeling very nurtured, comforted, and protected. So yeah, very interesting. So answers you need are coming. You know, if you're fearing something where it requires you to take a leap of faith, to step outside of your comfort zone, Spirit is saying go for it, because what awaits you is going to be a lot of joy and success. And some of you are going to get a message, and you're going to be getting lots and lots of messages, lots of communication coming in, because this energy is getting ready to shift. All right, I hope this is helpful. Catch you next time. Bye.